Now, do you know how much information Facebook has about you? The social network has obviously had a very bad week, with billions wiped off its share price after damaging news about data privacy. Well, yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg took out a full-page ad in several UK and US newspapers to apologise to Facebook's users. Some have responded by deleting their Facebook accounts, only to find out that the social network knows far more about them than they imagined, including logs of phone calls and text messages. Well, Kevin Curran is Professor of Cyber Security at Ulster University. Good evening to you. Kevin, can you tell us what information can Facebook gather about us, and what does it do with that data?
Okay, well, Facebook stores more information on users than they know. They're in the ad business. Again, they're a significant player. And again, they can collect information like our age, our gender, level of education, employment details, language, life events. But what's come to the public's attention in the last few days has been the fact that people's their SMS text messages, the call logs, whenever they called someone, how long that duration of the call was, and other things about that, of course, along with the things that we knew about already, or a lot of people knew about, like contacts and photos and ads clicked on, that these come to light. And people were shocked by the fact that when they downloaded the Facebook Messenger app, for instance, on their phone, that a lot of them just clicked on uploading their contacts, and these were uploaded. And again, that information was then stored. And of course, that people would have been shocked to find out that Facebook were storing text messages for a long period, and again, being able to analyze that information.
But we have consented to it at some point.
Well, Facebook defend their data policy, our data collection policy, by saying it adheres to its public privacy policy. But of course, the fact is that whenever we go through all the privacy shield things that they signed up for, and all these things where information should generally should only be processed fairly and made available, users would not have been familiar with this use of their data. And in fact, when they rolled out this contact messenger app and uploading the contacts, they did what we call this kind of sneaky practice, this dark design, whereby it was very difficult for you not to click the OK button. You had to go into settings, press the back button to not agree to it. So it wasn't very transparent in what they did.
Do you think that the current generation really minds about all of this? We know a lot of people have been appalled and are deleting their Facebook accounts, but isn't there a whole generation now who kind of see privacy, as we used to understand it, as a kind of quaint idea from the past, that it's not something you can really expect anymore, and I suppose they take a so what attitude to it?
Yeah, there is a fraction of people who don't care about their privacy really, and believe that everything, that can be online, and that are well aware of what's happening. In fact, that, and of course, any of us who are still on Facebook, we realize that it's worth being, that for the sake of being connected to everyone that we know and love, and the fact that we can see all the information on Facebook, that it's worth giving away these details, that we don't believe in, that we don't worry about being targeted by ads. But of course, really, when it comes to it, it's the fact that people don't really understand what the damage can do when these things leak, and how it can be used against us, to exploit our children. So really, we cannot sit back and accept this. In other words, and it's not just Facebook who's doing this. Google themselves do it, all the others, even news sites you visit, they sell, your average news site you visit right now will make 25% of its revenue from the third parties who collect the URLs that visitors are sent. So it's not just Facebook doing this.
But just briefly, we've only about 30 seconds left, right? But isn't it the case that the genie's out of the bottle, and that these big tech companies, Facebook, also owns WhatsApp and Instagram and Google, they're not going to change, are they? Our profiles and our data is too valuable.
Well, they'll have to change. It's simply as that, because they will have to. The FTC in the United States are coming down hard. We've seen what happened to Microsoft in the early 2000s, how they were affected. So they will have to change. They will just have to adhere with, especially the incoming GDPR regulations with the EU we're bringing in, which can fine companies up to hundreds of millions of pounds. So they really will have to comply.
Okay, Kevin Curran, Professor of Cyber Security at Ulster University, thank you very much indeed for joining us.